I'm ahead of the curve, also known as James Bergman, and in today's video, I'm going to share some updates and a few books that I've been reading as of late. I have officially moved back to university, and I am studying the psychology of religion, the psychology of the paranormal, and my research project, which is arguably the most profound part of my last year of undergraduate, is going to be based somewhat in the realm of phenomenology, which, for those who are unaware of the topic in philosophy and psychology, is essentially phenomenology is the study of experience. So, as I said, it kind of delves into philosophy and psychology, as well as, of course, science and things like that. But overall, it is a philosophy slash psychology that was coined, I suppose, by guys like Husserl and Heidegger and Maurice Merleau-Ponty, who I've reviewed on the channel in his book Phenomenology of Perception. That word is quite difficult to get your head around. Yeah, the first few times that you say it. Although I've said it many times at this point. So yeah, no, I've more or less just started my lectures, and that means essentially, and this is part of the update sort of thing I wanted to share. That means that the majority of the time I'm going to spend reading is going to be on phenomenology, on psychology, and basically I just want to pass. I just want to do as best I can in my course, in my my project and my modules. So I will be reading more psychology, I suppose, in the next 6 months. I will be reading some philosophy, and I will engage with philosophy over this time. But the reason why this is important to share is that I am thinking of introducing more psychology on the channel. And of course, this channel is a few things, I guess. I mean, I've covered even politics on this channel, like rather briefly. I've covered, of course, science, but mainly I cover philosophy, although it does cross over to psychology quite a bit. And it would be kind of strange for me to be a psychology student, but actually not to post any videos on the topic. My heart does lie in philosophy, but psychology I absolutely love as well. So essentially, I want to post more content to do with psychology and what's useful for me, and also what's probably interesting for you guys if you are into psychology as much as philosophy, let's say. I want to share what my work is. I want to post videos, post content that is pertaining to the work that I'm actually doing. So maybe it's, I don't know, a video to do with phenomenology, or IPA, which is interpretive phenomenological analysis, or the psychology of religion, which many of you guys like that on my channel anyway. So basically, what I'm saying is that I want to post more psychology content because I want to not focus too much on philosophy, as I said, for the next few months, because there's a lot of pressure to do well in my course. So yeah, so basically there will be more psychology content, and if you guys have any ideas of what you would like to see, would you like to see psychology of religion and phenomenology? I have some ideas in my head, but they're in the early stages. And of course, I would like to talk to individuals who are working in psychology and who can maybe share some views about the topics that I'm studying, essentially. So, and it goes as well to say that with my book reviews, I will be reading, and I have been reading, predominantly psychology at the moment, because again, I am really trying to gear my mind into these modules, these subjects. So, in terms of book reviews, they will predominantly be psychology, which the books that I have in mind to read and what I am reading is really, really interesting, and I'm sure you guys will find them interesting as well. And I will go into some of those, but I'm just going to finish what I'm saying first. But so yeah, I mean, for example, I want to read Husserl and more Maurice Ponty and or Merleau-Ponty, I mean, um, Heidegger, for example. So I am going to be reading more of those kind of individuals, and that means that a lot of reviews will be pertaining to psychology. I mean, I'm reading some literature at the moment. I've been reading the Lord of the Rings books, so I'm like halfway through the first one. It's pretty good, although I'm finding it a bit slow in the middle. Yeah. Anyway, I hope that's normal, but yeah, it's a bit slow, so I haven't actually returned to it in like a couple of weeks. So I want to try and read those books. I mean, as you can see behind me, I have brought. I don't know if you can see. I think you can see. I have brought an array of books. So maybe too many. I always end up bringing quite a lot of books to university, but I can't bring them all. You see, so yeah, I'm quite limited. But yeah, so I have some literature behind me that I will, I imagine, eventually get to. There are some projects, later on, in the next couple of months, that will be, to do with more literature and things like that. So I have got things down the pipeline. I've got discussions lined up. Yeah, basically, I've probably said this already, but yeah, I will be posting more psychology essentially, more than before anyway, because I just love philosophy so much, and it kind of overtakes my plans, I guess. Um, so yeah. Anyway, what else is there that I want to say? Yeah. So yeah, I'm just really trying to focus on my degree right now, and it doesn't mean that. It just means that there will be more psychology content, there will be more philosophy, there will be more book reviews. It's honestly just, for example, if I read a book and I'm like, I don't really want to review that, I don't have enough to say, then I won't post a book review. And that has just happened to be the case as of recently. I don't know when my next book review will be, because I still want to keep them going. But it really just depends on the book that I read and how much I have to say. But anyway, let's get to some of the books I've been reading. And I did actually mention I wasn't reading philosophy, but I'm I'm going back on myself because I picked up Aristotle's Physics, and I was like, well, I have to check it out. It's Aristotle. I'm pretty behind on some of these guys from over 2,000 years ago. I prefer 18th to 19th century, philosophy a lot of the time. Although, of course, I love Aurelius and things like that. But I'm quite behind on Aristotle. Some of Socrates, even though his writings weren't actually recorded directly from him. But anyway, so yeah, I've been reading some Aristotle, and in this piece, again, I haven't. I mean, I guess I could review the book, but I just there's not enough in it that I would like to say, and I feel like it's also quite difficult. I mean, if I was to review it, I'd have to, I'd have to really go pretty full on with it, because it is quite a difficult text at times. But just to briefly talk about it, what I've liked about it is that it goes to first causes. Is the universe infinite and things like that. So it is a really cool book. Quite like the cover as well. So yeah, I've been reading this over the past few weeks. So, so as you can see, I own. I don't know if you can. I think you can, but I own a couple of these, the Dummies books, and they're pretty good. And I'm reading this one primarily because I need to to do well. So yeah, research methods in psychology. So in terms of the methodology I'm using, I haven't really gone much into what my project is going to be. I mean, I have, but basically, I want my project to. This is a very early days, but at the moment, I would like my project to. Well, I know it's in phenomenology, and I know that it's lived experience, meaning I will be assessing anecdotal evidence as such, like people's testimonies, right? And there are methodologies to do that, but the methodology that I would prefer to do it in is using IPA, which is interpretive phenomenological analysis. Right now, I'm just I just don't know how to say that word. Anyway, so yeah, the Dummies book is just useful for learning about the methodologies. Yeah. So it's not the most engaging book, but it's just necessary. And I was really surprised by the next book that I picked up only recently, um, and it's literally about IPA. So, and I thought it was going to be this huge textbook, but actually it's quite a decent size, so it isn't too bad. And it is really, really interesting. They go over the most profound phenomenologists, Heidegger, Maurice Ponty, Malou Ponty. Oh my god, and Husserl and individuals like that, and it's just really cool. They just have a great introduction, and yeah, I just need to learn about this methodology, so I'm reading this book. And I've also been reading this book, Theory and Reality: An Introduction to the Philosophy of Science. This was actually recommended to me by Hamza Zorsis, who I've had on a couple times now. He's just a great guy. He's just so fun to talk to and learn from and exchange with. Um, but yeah, anyway, he recommended me Theory and Reality by Peter Godfrey Smith, and it's funny because I know Peter Godfrey Smith from his book Other Minds, about the octopus and evolution of from early life evolution. And I loved Other Minds. Other Minds is one of my favorite books, I would probably say. And he recommended me this answer, and I was like, yeah, sure, why not? It's from Peter Godfrey Smith. Let's check it out. And it is a really, really good book. Honestly, I really can't stress enough how awesome this book is. It's kind of covering the philosophy of science, and it's also talking about empiricism, and different scientists who've had different revolutions, like Kuhn and Popper, for example. And it talks about loads of different things in the philosophy of science. Talks about a bit about logic and things like that. So induction, evidence. I'm just reading through the chapters, but yeah, no, this is a really, really cool book. If you're interested in the philosophy of science, how we come to think about investigating claims and scientific methods, um, it is really, really cool. It's a really good book, so I'd highly recommend that. Um, I would show you more books. Well, technically I do, but it's kind of like, well, I guess I could bring it out. I've read this before. William James's The Varieties of Religious Experience. Cool cover, right? But I am going to go through it again because, again, I need to come. I'd like to think that I'm decent at the psychology of religion. I've studied that specifically, for years. But yeah, I'm going to read this one again by William James. And if you haven't read this one already, go do it. If you like, the psychology of belief, investigating paranormal claims, religious behavior and things like that, the science being applied to revelations and things like that. This is just a great book. Also, yeah, I'm just going to end up getting out all of them, but I think I might have shown this before in a previous update video, but we'll go with that anyway. But yeah, this is a book that I haven't read yet, and yeah, I want to get through it. Because again, I need to get in the headspace of passing and doing well in my studies. So yeah, I'm talking about more books than I expected, but why not? Since we're here, right? But yeah, no. So I've got more books to read. I'm going to read more Husserl and Malou Ponty. That is kind of all I wanted to say. I just wanted to say that there will be more content on psychology and perhaps less posts. I don't really know. Perhaps I'm just delegating a lot of time to my work at the moment at university, so I can't really say. But I will do my best to keep up with things and yeah, to update you guys on upcoming videos and content. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's all I wanted to say. Anyway, yeah. So I thought a video would be more appropriate than just some kind of long-winded uh, discussion post or whatever on my channel. So yeah. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed or found this update video interesting at all. If you've read any of the books that I've mentioned, let me know what you thought of them. And if you have any recommendations as well in the psychology of religion, any books in that area, or the paranormal, the psychology of the paranormal, which I'm also studying as a module, if you have any books in that area, or if there are any kind of psychologists that you would like me to talk with and have a discussion and put it on the channel, then also let me know. So yeah, that's about all I have to say for this update video. Leave a like if you found it interesting and to help the videos on the algorithm as well on YouTube. Um, yeah, so I hope you're all doing well and comment what you think on what I've said and the books and whatever in the comment section. Anyway, yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Cheers, guys.